Hello and welcome back. I'm Bebo Joe and this is WRSR Resources Soviet Republic. We are in the final stages of prepping for the final spurt of Season X. The nuclear fuel fabrication city and industry is built. All the utilities are there. This is the first ship with uranium ore that is coming in. Nothing else is set up yet, so we're going to do that together. We're going to see if that makes us enough money. Don't get distracted by the 280 million ruble up there. That will go away in no time if I don't look closely. And we have a lot of people available now. The city is not filled yet, so don't get distracted by that either. But nuclear fuel hopefully gives us the money security that we need, because we need to turn off the vehicle exports to do our maintenance thing. Speaking of maintenance, there's still a couple things I have to tie up before the 20-year no-touch part can actually take place, so we may actually have a little more time together than I thought. I promise you didn't really miss much. I effectively just built everything over here for a year and all the pieces that are necessary to make it work. I did invite a couple vehicles. I hope that's okay with some of you. And we have started bringing some of the cabins out here as well. Is this one not ready yet? No, this one is full. I just have to turn it on. And there are a couple open hauls that drive from the border to here just to drop them off. This one still needs 28 more, so that can all happen hopefully relatively smoothly. But we are pretty much turned on. We just don't have any of the materials. Everything else is here, so that ship is going to arrive and get us the things that we actually require to do this. It is close to winter, as usual, because why not? That is the most exciting time to do any of the things that I'm about to do. So Xanon, I did add a construction office here with just a couple of microbuses because we needed more people. And now that I will switch on the city, no, that's the wrong one, not auto search. Now that I'm switching on the city, I can actually use this as my worker resource. And also the way it's set up is that everyone that makes it here will walk to any of the cableway station, which all go to the same target. So that should be fine. And then from the cableway station, if they never get picked up, they can work in the city. Also, everyone that doesn't go to any of the stations will go work in the city anyway. So I think everything is ready. Cool. As usual, save before you invite people, because no matter how many thousands of hours you have in this game, chances are you forgot a thing. So let's see what's going to happen here. We need immigrants from the Soviet bloc, 500,000. Ow. Did I mention that the 280 million that you saw there in the very beginning probably won't last us all that long? This is not the main reason, but this is certainly one of the reasons. Well, that is the thing. Xanon, why are you being difficult? Oh, because I didn't actually physically turn you on, but that is okay. So let's fill this up with a couple people. Once the people are here, I expect the ship to actually come in, and we're just going to go down to 270 million or so. Once we have that accomplished, I feel relatively confident that the city's at least big enough to get us started on the things that we want, because we also have 85,000 people, which is pretty much at the edge of the population of the Republic, meaning most of our buildings should already be pretty much full or more overfull even. So I think I can just expect that this city will fill up as long as our people are relatively happy. So we're just going to have to see how all of that plays out. Yes, I did bring some food in. It's the same food delivery service that is coming down here to the Vasistavi. So, okay. What do we have going on here? Our ship is coming in. Wonderful. And yeah, we'll just let it happen, huh? No, not quite. What is the main thing that all of the nuclear industry needs, or uranium processing at least? Nothing here, just uranium ore with some power turning into uranium oxide. That looks good. How are the buildings? This one's actually overloaded. Okay, this one is slightly overloaded. Okay, I think we potentially have a slight overload of power. This one should be just fine, 61%. Oh, I did add this just because I didn't, of course, as usual, I just didn't account for them. And then this distribution office just set up exactly like the distribution office up here to bring all of our stuff out. Is that the medium distribution office? Yes, it is. Why are these highlighted in yellow? That is slightly confusing. I didn't actually want all of those trash pickups. Oh, because this one also has a lot of like civil duty transport options happening, and I guess that is fine. I want to add a quick road through here because I wouldn't be surprised if a shorter road makes it a little easier to get to emergency services and all that stuff. Figure it out. Our ship is coming in. Cool. Yeah, let's get some stuff organized. So we have chemicals here. That's what I was talking about. And the chemicals are coming in with the rail distribution office that was already on the peninsula. Let me change my sound. That I don't like what it's doing. There you go. That should be a little better, even especially if the helicopters aren't coming around. But yeah, this should be fine. I know what the problem is. When I was playing and doing these things, I actually turned the music volume way down because I couldn't hear anything else that was going on. So there you go. That's my problem. But no problem any longer. So we are back to normal sound. Wonderful. And now we can look at all the things. Cool. So yeah, you require some chemicals and you have 6. Got it. You require some chemicals and uranium oxide. So all we really need is tell this distribution office to figure out how to pick up chemicals from here, and we're just going to set it up like this and bring it to the right places. That will be this one, this one. I do think it will push into the connected factories as well, but I don't want to count on that, and we do have more than enough trucks available to probably make this happen well, so that's good. We do have, how many chemicals can we fit in here? 9 tons of chemicals, okay. That translates to just about a truck full. So I think 30% is fine, because once we hit about 3 tons, another truck comes in, and then we go up to 8 tons, which sounds great. This guy, however, currently does not have any fuel, which is a slight problem if you ask me. So let's see if we can translate or figure out anyone that would like to participate in bringing some fuel from here to the other place. You're already full, so never mind. You're already full, so never mind. Can we remove any of your current things that need fuel? And I'm looking at this area because all of these probably don't need to be connected to the fuel connection pieces that we have. But yeah, that's definitely a thing that I did not consider early on. So here's what we're gonna do. Get me a fuel truck. There's a cistern. Beautiful. You can get your stuff from probably here. This building's already assigned. Well, that's wonderful. And then I'll just assign you to this one as well, and that should take care of dropping off whatever we want on the fuel side right there. We can't even see the storages on these guys, which makes me think this is all for fuel, mostly fuel. So police station, nope, nope, nope. I don't want to bring fuel anywhere else. We only have 1 fuel truck, and I don't want that one to be abused to something that it doesn't actually have to do. So that looks good. Cool. What are you doing? You're refueling. Great. You have fuel already sitting here, which means this guy technically, why wouldn't there? Oh, wow. That was interesting that it wouldn't do it right away, but I guess it may be okay. Seeing this one, I do feel like I do need to put another power line in here, because yeah, we are overloading this whole thing quite a bit. So let's see what we can do with our high voltage power lines. We have one more available right there. That is perfect. So let's just find a spot for you. Don't mind this one at all, so we may as well make that happen and run you all the way to the other lines that are already connected to all of this. Yep. Definitely. All the way over here, a little bit out there, and semi-straight connection. Come on, you can do it from here. Cool. you do have to switch the directions often enough to make this happen. Okay, helicopters, would you mind getting most of this done? You can't actually get into that area, that's fine. We'll just send a couple other construction officers in. And there's uranium oxide being unloaded, 2,500 tons there. Another 2,000 tons here. I should have done the 5,000 one because of what the ship size is, and it takes about a month maybe even 2 months to fill up, maybe even more than that. I didn't look that closely, but it took a very long time before that actually worked. But this all seems to work. We have people coming in. We are relatively full in a lot of places, and the main problem we have is currently we don't have any chemicals coming in because the cistern truck is not here yet. Luckily, this one is getting fuel from someone else, so that is good. We just have to find our current offender. Where are you? Cistern. Yes, please. Where are you? How far did you make it? You are close. You're just driving 80 kilometers per hour. Oh, because you're running at single speed. That's not very B-Ball Joe-like, so this guy better hurry up a little bit. Cool. Yeah, let's just hurry up a little bit, right? B-Ball Joe style, so we're just going to skip away from it. Yeah, this looks fine. They're producing what they're supposed to produce, and there's a little bit of uranium oxide coming in there, but here's a problem. We need more engineers to exist in this area, and that is fine, because this university has direct access to this platform. That is good. I think I should help myself just a little bit to get a couple more smarter people, which are more expensive. But as we need engineers in that area, it would just be a waste to not have these available. So we may as well invite a few hundred people that are higher educated and get them out there. You could micromanage these and just send the higher educated ones to these transport stations. There we go. There's some money going down for 280 million to whatever it is now. But we gotta be patient. So yeah, our problem right now is just the number of engineers that we don't have. That's fine. Heating problem? Yeah, sure, probably somewhere. Has to happen eventually. You guys are doing what you're supposed to do, so that looks good. Let's make sure that these have generally everything that they need. They do. Did I put a pub in this town? From what I can tell right now, no. I don't see a pub. Oh, we have so many agents sitting here. I don't think we need that, especially for the more desired workplaces. If you didn't know, workers will look for work in walking range first before they go to a station. So if there are higher educated workplaces available in the area, that's where they're gonna go. And you don't really get a choice about that. So just make sure that you reduce the number of workplaces that you don't need, and this one is appropriate because we are pretty... Oh no, we have like 100 units extra, so this one should be fine. Make sure that it's appropriate to what you are trying to do. It looks like we do not have a pub here. That feels like a miss, so we're gonna add that. People like that in this area. There we go. How about pub? Alcohol kiosk? No, never. We're not going to do a kiosk again for a very long time if we ever do a kiosk again. But this pub right here seems to be appropriate because of the location of all the things that it has, so that's good. We don't even need the helicopters to mostly build any of this, but construction office 1, if you don't mind getting started on that, well, that will be super. Cool. Stop production. That's fine. Yeah, they're producing something, and they have a little bit of uranium oxide sitting right here. That all looks lovely. There's a fuel truck unloading fuel here. Extremely slow. Has there been an update recently? Because I don't believe they have been this slow in a very long time. Building without power supply. Some fuel... Oh, okay. Ah, yes. I see what the problem is. The problem is that currently B-Ball Joe does not have money. You remember the 280 million earlier that you saw? That does make a difference. And now this should be unloading. Yeah, it's already unloaded because we had some power sitting there. So now our friends are going to go out and figure out the things that they need, and our shop is out of goods is never a good thing. In the middle of town, you're not really out of goods, you're just low on goods, and you don't really have people sitting in front of the store, so I'm not... Like, one or two every once in a while there. You're pushing the envelope here, buddy. Interesting. Well, let's hope that kind of works out. That's all we can do at this point. Cool. A little bit more money is coming in. So they're doing what they're supposed to do. That's great. I don't know how much we're actually going to consume at full production, but I hope it will be something. that we can handle with effectively 4,500 tons of uranium ore sitting there while the tanker goes out and refills. It's not very expensive to refill this thing. Like half full, this is about 4 million, so 8 million for the uranium oxide that we're producing. Sounds great. Yes, we have to bring the oxide over here at some point, and I do think we should organize a flatbed truck for all of these, and we will use the flatbed trucks that are going here once this thing has 30 cabins, which I've pre-purchased, so they're just sitting at the border. And then, yeah, we can repurpose those flatbed trucks because they will have nothing else to do. That looks good. Cool. Something that you might find interesting is this. Yeah, it got a little better, or a little worse. This was all completely full. I had to add another vehicle transporter because we had too many beetles sitting around here. Obviously, right now we don't have steel sitting there, which is just a constant struggle that we're probably not going to really get rid of unless I reduce the vehicle production a little bit, if at all possible. But then again, I'm not sure that that is absolutely necessary either. But things, at least we're making a little bit of money. That's what we need. 158 million sitting on this container ship, so let's just send it out to make that money right now, because we still need it. How much money do I owe? I owe more than $500 million. No, I owe more than $1 billion. If the nuclear stuff is not working out, we're screwed. That's the way it is. I do think that the nuclear stuff is going to bail us out, but yeah, there is a ton riding on this, and I literally still I haven't even finished the setup because we still need a container ship to export all the stuff. How do I get fuel in the container harbors? Pipes, underground pipes and above ground pipes, just sending it down to the ships so I don't have to worry about making trucks do the work there for me. Seems okay. Seems quite okay so far. No issues, no issues. We're not quite full yet, but the city is also not full, so I don't think that is a real issue. Okay. Cheers. That's good. Yeah. Let's talk feelings a little bit, shall we? Season X, it's coming to an end. We talked about that. Early start DLC is coming. You probably saw a couple icons down there. Can't really turn it off once you give me the key. Steam just kind of unlocks it, and then it's a little annoying. But yes, I have access. I will start it once I'm allowed to play it, which is hopefully going to be exactly the day after Season X will end. That's the hope. Why are we not continuing Season X? I think there are things that can be fixed 100%. I think the vehicle maintenance as I have it right now, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff sitting here that we can probably export to. Why are there so many sitting on that one? Are they everywhere? No. That's confusing. Why is there one that has so many beetles parked? Yeah, but we can definitely fix the vehicle maintenance, but there's one crucial thing which I think is required to make everything actually work, and I want to talk about that in theory before I get too deep into the next season, because it's still this season. One of the big problems we have is the vehicles that I have available are all old, and there's a lot of them that are old, but the game's auto replacement does not work. It works, it does work, but it does not allow for immediate replacement of all the things. It is limited by how many spots are available for vehicles to get out. In this case, 2 per station per storage. Then it's also limited by if this vehicle is currently going anywhere, you can't replace it. Not great. It's also limited by how many vehicles do you currently have available and where are they for how far it wants to drive. And there you go. This one looks like it's actually replaceable. Let's see if we can actually make this happen. Yeah, I clicked it and that vehicle goes, and that's the next one in the queue. Great. Now we did 1. How many extra vehicles do we have sitting in storage? 12. I need 473. I don't want to do it manually. Obviously, that vehicle that I just sent to replacement was already eligible. We are at wear and tear 68%. This is a result of how the season went. I think if I would do it again, I would set this one to probably closer to 50%, maybe even a little below that. But right now, it is not clearing the threshold of 68% to get replaced. Now, don't fall into the temptation of setting this to something very low, because every percentage point that you go down, more and more vehicles will try to get replaced right away and get scrapped, if at all possible. And once you do that, you will start getting queues in the replacement routes. What is your problem? You will start getting queues in your scrapping facilities, and that alone can paralyze your whole republic. So don't do it. don't fall in for the temptation. Anyways, part of the problem is, even when we are producing the right amount of vehicles to actually do the replacements, the time that they have to be used as a replacement is not long enough to actually make the replacement happen. So the short version is, and there have been comments around this, the short version is there is not enough time for a vehicle to actually be used as a replacement. Okay, how do I expand the time that a vehicle can be used as a replacement? Keep it in the Republic longer. This storage, everything that you see here, now that the queuing works in the vehicle production lines, plus knowing that vehicles that are inside storages also decay. There you go, 44% wear and tear already on this one, yeehaw. We know that we can't just store them. They have to be moved around, and then if they're not used, they have to be exported. They always have the same value. It doesn't matter how much wear and tear is, as long as they're brand new, but they're not as valuable to us. And as you can see, we have some train issues. Is this one capable of actually getting replaced? That's an excellent question. I do believe I have at least one or two. There's one at least sitting right here. There are several here that could be used as a replacement for that guy. So, yeah. There you go. Move that one out. Move that one down. Move that one out again. Sure. There are some available here, but you are sitting at... Yeah, you're 50 years old, your wear and tear is 74%. What is our setting for the trains, which is not the same as the vehicles? 80%, and honestly, this one we can probably set to 70%, and maybe we can see how this train is trying to replace itself. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. I don't know when that's going to happen. Allow for repair. Wear and tear after repair is 52%, 74%. Sure, when does replacement happen? Let's look at that. List of trains, wear and tear sent to scrapyard, purchase new, automatic replacement is on, replacement condition 70 and 50 years. You're not 50 years yet. Okay, but you've been breaking down a couple times, so let's try setting this to 45, and maybe now your threshold is set to... You're meeting both criterias. I would like to see how the actual replacement works, because I haven't actually seen how and if that is functional with the trains. The thing is, you gotta give it a little bit of time to embed itself into the idea of, yeah, okay, I can be replaced. That's fine. Yeah, why not? Assigned to line vehicle export train. Yeah. Very curious when this one will actually go out and get itself replaced. That would be cool to see. I'm not sure that we're gonna have that luxury today. But that's hopefully happening potentially, because there are more than enough vehicles available to do exactly that. And I have heard that they do go to the storages, not storages, but to the depots and then replace themselves. We'll just have to wait and see. Ideally, I actually wouldn't mind keeping you up here, because at some point something should happen. We'll just be patient or something. Cool. So you're producing stuff. Great. You're producing stuff, a little bit of UF6, that is lovely. And the thing here is that, there we go, we already have 2 casks of nuclear fuel sitting here, each worth 1.5 million, which makes me think most of them or all of them have the same amount sitting there. So we just produced, just in the time being, so 3 million each, we produced 12 million, which at least paid for all the uranium ore that we imported earlier, and we've barely used a couple hundred tons. So that is wild. Cool. Love it. But there's still more to do, right? There's still more stuff that we can produce, and specifically faster. But that's just the way it is. And I think what I need to do is tell some of these friends to actually relocate into the place that will make us a little more money, because the 5 people without a job here are just not cutting it for me. Yeah, we'll just send them down here, and it should help. We do want everyone to be employed, and we need everyone to pull their weight. So here we are, clicking the button, making sure that everyone does the things that they're supposed to do. Does everyone have footpath access to all the places that I want them to have footpath access to? Yeah, that's a great question. I think everyone did get access. No one lives here, that's fine. Workers without a job, that's okay. You do have a foot... No? Construction office. No. Oh. Pause. Okay. I don't know why. I absolutely do not understand why, but I had several instances of construction offices unable to get to these places, and this one is clearly accessible because all of these footpaths are already done. That one isn't done, but it doesn't have access to it, which is BS. I mean, I can go here, demolish this one, and then say, yeah, I don't know what happened, why it happened, when it happened. It may have been in between updates, but for some reason, some of these things just don't want to function anymore and don't want to get the connections right, which is super annoying. But there you go. Oh, this one it apparently built, but nothing else it wanted to build, so that's also cool. But now if we add a normal dirt path here, we will probably have footpath access to everything. There you go. Yeah, they have access. Great. How about other places? Looks like there's something over here that's not quite done yet. So construction office 9, run over here. Yeah, there's some footpaths over here that have the same problem, that where they can just not access it. And I swear that hasn't been a problem before. This has always worked and was always fine, but now for some reason it's just like, you know what? No, we can't access this anymore. Hopefully you don't mind, because if you invited people here that you didn't mean to invite, yeah, you're a little screwed now, but good luck. Cool. We'll set that one up. Let's see if there are any other light blue colors. And yes, there are. There are 3 more over here. I'm glad I'm looking at this. Very annoying, especially because we had citizens at least living in a couple of these places. That one, for example. But whatever. We can deal with all of this, because that's what you do in this game. I really would like to blame it on the early start DLC becoming available somewhere in the middle and the version updated, and that just overrode a couple values. But I don't know. It could cause all kinds of issues. And there you go. Now people are actually walking where they're supposed to walk. Any other places that are a little funky? These are all dark blue, which makes me think they are fine. So yeah, just assume that that is now a-okay. Let's get a couple of our trucks organized. So we only have like 6 more of those to make the trip. That's fine. I would like to get this one reassigned to a new home. I do need a road depot for this. I don't think I have a road depot anywhere here. That's a road depot. Great. Cancel go to depot. Are you still assigned to this one? Yes, you are. I would like you to go to that station first and then go to the depot, which you can do like this. There you go, it goes to the road depot, and then it will just park there. So at least unloads its current cargo. So you just don't waste it, because we do need those wagons to keep the number of people that we actually require for all of this in the right number. So that's good. Cool. Distracted myself long enough, didn't I? Yes, I did. Why aren't you paying down the loan? You may scream at the screen. Because at any point, this may be pulled down to just a little bit of money or barely enough money to cover anything. So I'm not willing to go that route just yet. You're still having this happening. You're bringing 38 million in. What is your thing? You're at 90% wear and tear. You're not going to repair yourself. Huh. Repair, wear and tear. Yeah, this is fine. Wear and tear when the vehicle will be automatically replayed. Custom value settings. What I was trying to say earlier, there's always a trigger time when they actually send themselves to either get replaced or repaired. Right now it's not doing either of them. If I just send you to auto repair, yeah, 77% is not very good. I don't know. I don't know if we will see a vehicle or train replacement thing. There's probably another tutorial in the future that I can hopefully make about this. It's not quite ready just yet. I'm assuming the truck hasn't made it here yet. No, it's also middle of winter. Okay, so more time. I'm back. More time for the vehicles that need replacement in the Republic. There's a very simple thing that I thought of, then someone else put it in the comments. I think we were talking about effectively the same thing, but you just need more buffer. Just more buffer in your setup. Rail transport is great for this because you can make the vehicle trains as long as you feel like making them, and that should work. But what I would like to propose, something that we can do, is build different stashes for vehicles. These are already vehicle container storages, so we could start with this. But all over the Republic, we should put... Lost 2,000 people. When did that happen? Doesn't matter anymore, honestly. All over the Republic, we could place a bunch of large vehicle storages, just the large ones, because why not? Place them anywhere near the main line. Let the trains come in there. And this is important. You need the train to come from the vehicle place down here. You just pick up all the vehicles that are available here and take them to the next stop. And then go back, pick up all the vehicles from here, bring them to the next stop. Now, vehicles have stayed in the Republic for 2 storages already. Great. Then you add another storage. You put a train to take vehicles from the second storage to the third storage. Now vehicles have parked for 3 rounds, which is fine. You may want to add a little bit of extra time in between when trains show up. So maybe set up your trains to have a little bit of overlap. So the first train transports from the source to Station 1 and Station 2. And then the second train transports vehicles from Station 2 to Station 3 to Station 4. Then you have another train picking up from Station 3, dropping off at Station 4, Station 5. You may notice that I'm saying picking up in one place and dropping off in 2 places. That's important because I don't want to drop off and pick up at the same time. All of those things will extend how long vehicles are in the Republic. And once you have reached the end of the line, you just set up one train to pick up anything from there and bring it all the way down to your actual export point, which currently is this. There are better places to do this, but that's effectively what it's going down to be. I hope that may make some sense, but that should make vehicle replacement actually very much possible. The way that I have it right now, the vehicles just don't stick around for long enough to hit the point when a vehicle actually wants to get replaced, and that is not super helpful. Looks like these guys have accomplished what I wanted them to do, which is get rid of most of the vehicles that were ready for export, and that's great. Let's look at our steel stuff, because I'm not 100% sure that that's all working right. Are there other problems in the system? Oh, in this Republic, yes. For example, the ship that's just sitting in the middle of the steel factory, just as a reminder that any ship can also ride on land. That is sitting there. I have several vehicles that are currently unable to move around and do what I need them to do. The steel mill is not running at 100%, so we're nowhere near producing steel that I actually need. Very sad. This can be a really good way to repair some, or to fix the Republic, I think, if we get our steel supply under control, which we could do by just adding more workforce. There is plenty of room anywhere here to add more. I just don't think I have time for it. I just really don't think I have time for it. There's so much room right here to add more people in, and then we have the iron storage out here that is, as you can see, already filling up. So these are working again, which means the towns down here are pretty much maxed out. Not completely maxed out yet, but they are getting back up to what I need them to do. So there's a lot of room here to continue, which is also why I have been, and I will, make this save available to Patreons and YouTube members. If you feel like taking this on and fixing it and sending me the fixed version of Season X, I would appreciate it, because Seeing what you guys can make out of all my mistakes is always quite exciting. However you want to spin that, so I would not mind seeing what you guys come up with. Looks like our bauxite is working quite well out here. We can probably add another aggregate ship to bring more of the processed bauxite out. We just don't have to yet, and I did hear from a couple other people that... Great. I did hear from a couple... Oh, this is the one that is stuck on ground. Cool. I don't want to sell it because it's too expensive. But this one, how much do you have currently loaded? You're not going to tell me, but that's fine. We can just add a couple more ships to that, and then they would probably be relatively happy. Happiness is going down. Honestly, I don't know. I should probably just look. Stop production. Where do we stop production? Heat production. That is not ideal. Where is this? Oh. Oh, is this Mini-Me? No, Mini-Me, you're fine. Why are you... Oh, this one is not supposed to run. Notify me? No, it's turned off. It's completely turned off. Why would I care about that one? This is the one that matters. Ah, notification. Silly you. Okay, let's go... Where were we? We're just skipping around a little bit because we can. Yes, I'm still planning on running the 20-year challenge, probably right after this episode, letting it run overnight and then coming back in the morning and see how we did. I would predict that we're going to end up close to 80,000. That may still go down all the way to 70,000, but I think most of the cities are relatively stable. There are things that are not working super well, but they're generally working, so I think that should all be okay. And the biggest problem that we may run into is how much money can we actually pay off. And I don't even have to worry about the payments that we have to make because I set them all up for 5 years, or most of them now, which means over time we really don't spend that much in interest. So as long as we get most of our stuff exported, I think we will have enough money to pay for the loans. There's no more active costs. Wait until I unload it here. There are no more active costs that we have to worry about in between because there's nothing to be rebuilt. There are a couple helicopters that may get replaced every once in a while, but overall there's just not that much left over that we have to worry about. How are you doing? There are almost all cabins on track. That's cool. Let's pause this so I can actually look at this truck. Do you have anything loaded? You have 2 more cabins loaded. You would like a little bit of stuff, and then once you're done with that, yeah, there's fuel. Once you're done with that, I can send this truck also to help with the nuclear fuel distribution, which is exciting. Oh, you need something for the nuclear fuel distribution, don't you? Yes, yes, I do. Have you hop there and here, and then winter is almost over too. Yeah, we're going down to 70% happiness. Electronics is a problem. Crime is a small problem. There are no major problems, I would say. It's not perfect. We're nowhere near perfect, which also makes me really want to start the next season, because I think we learned a lot of things of what not to do in this playthrough. That's just time to see what we can do when we do things more right. And I have a lot of plans for the new season. I will talk about all of the real plans once I get closer to, well, starting it, which is not right away, but very, very soon. So hopefully that all kind of works out. But there we are. I don't want to use the Container Express. That would be a lot of money, but it's not enough frequency to actually make the money that we require to pay back all the things, so that's not going to work. I think the Frida is not a bad one. 14 knots versus 12 knots. Frida is a little faster, but has a little more capacity, so it may actually be too big. Aggregates definitely not, in 500 million we don't even have, but we can afford all of these. You don't do any containers, that's fair. Do we have anything else interesting? More cargo, no containers. Tanker, obviously nothing. Tanker, nothing. Cargo, no containers, and then we have nothing. nothing to see here. So Ignatov, you are the winner because you're a little smaller than the Frida. This will be our nuclear fuel exporter. So let's see where you're currently heading. I would like you to... Where are we? Where do we have to go? The export harbor, excuse me, I would like to move this out of the way for just a minute. The export harbor is right here. Okay. The repair harbor that you can go to can be this one. So let's actually just start here. Go get repaired whenever you feel like it. Then go to the export harbor and load. Wait until loaded. Should we just let you go with whatever you have available here? And if it's ever really full, that's fine. I think we need a smaller ship for that. Otherwise, where's the fun in that? And then have you go to the border, do your thing, unload whatever you feel like. No, that's the wrong one. This one is the right one. Unload, wait until unloaded. That should be fine. And then you have to come back and don't lose your path. So you're going to come back for the waypoint and go back to the harbor. That feels good. Cancel, go to depot. And you should be making a pretty good amount right away. I'm not sure that the that we will actually see how much money it's going to be worth on the containers there, because I think there's something funny with these little casts, because right now you can't see how much they're worth, but I do know that they're all worth about 1.5 million. So there's already 6 million sitting here. Wonderful. Which is not even... No, the first one is empty. Cool. Hazardous waste and mixed waste is doing something. Alright. We do have to make sure that they actually function the way that they need to function. This one looks okay. And I think it would be more okay if I give you at least a couple snow trucks. So snow plows, please. And thank you, because we do have at least a couple of these container trucks still sitting here. So that all looks fine. You look like you're not actually doing anything. Got it. Okay, that's something we have to fix. We have mixed waste and we have hazardous waste. You are effectively... What's this? Road cargo station. There's an in, there's an out. You're only loading from here. You're not actually loading from here. Got it. Would you mind loading from here? Okay. You load at any percentage. Great. And you bring in that here. This in should be all the way out here, which is very possible that we don't have enough capacity to actually run this all the time, which would be bad. How would you fix that? I am not sure, but maybe it's okay. What is this? The customs house. Oh, perfect. So when we do run out of space, there's also the customs house as part of the delivery zone. I kind of like that. With all the words that I just said of us potentially not being able to keep up with everything that we need from here, it's probably... And this wasn't a lot of time until this one was half full. I'm probably going to be safe and just build another quick distribution office. And because of how I built the pipes, this has to be in a little funny angle. Unless you're gonna plop it back here in a different funny angle. It looks really ugly. Okay, let's just put it here and call it good. I know it's not ideal, but it will do the job. Flip you around, reverse you, move you down this way a little bit, and then just get you built by the helicopters. And then we're just going to assign the exact same behavior as the existing... Excuse me, I would like to auto-build my stuff. Could be that button. Nothing is selected. Do I have to turn off all of these? Did you ever get replaced? No. Not repaired, not replaced. Okay, we'll just give up on that. If I turn off all of the other stuff, will you actually let me... No, what is... There. This is what I was looking for. I couldn't actually replace that thing. But yeah, this should all be fine. And then the snowplows that are showing up here should also do their thing. But yes, this is already going a little... It's already a little too full. So I'm glad I actually put that there. Now we're running at 100%. That should be good. We have a bunch of people coming through here. That looks good. And we still don't have any emptiness in any of the vehicles. What is your problem, sir? You are looking for fuel. Perfect. And you're blocking everything else. That's even more perfect. Bebo Joe, why aren't you using a distribution office to do this? Very simple, because a distribution office cannot handle containers. You have to use lines for that. This one probably is fine. You could put it up here. There's too many wires going on there. I would like it to be more part of the system. Sure, right there's good. Helicopters, this is your highest priority. If you don't mind, make you higher priority. There you go, make you more higher priority. And then we'll just have to wait until this guy shows up. There's going to be a little bit of a traffic jam here. That's okay. I think what I can do right now is send you somewhere where you potentially find a friend. Where would I do that? Oh, they're up here. There's no fuel in here, right? No, I don't think there's fuel, and this flickering, I think, is indicating that we're using too much power in this general area. So, never thing wrong. That's okay. So many things I had to learn from this episode, from this season in general. I will try my best to summarize them in the next episode after the 20-year try, and we're going to see how we end up. 77,000 people is not that bad. It's also not great because we started with a lot more than 80,000 people, but it is what it is. And it looks like we're keeping most of the people on the peninsula, which is not surprising. But yeah, that's where we end up, for now, at least. So we have a little bit of money sitting there. That's great. I will just wait until at least the fuel station and the new distribution office is done, and then we should actually see how much money we're getting produced here with all the containers that we have. And we'll probably have a full ship going out, and we may be able to pay off all the loans that we already have. I was being so silly. Money's down again because I paid off 300 million of the rubles that I owed, which was a stupid idea. But all of this is now ready. Just the way it's supposed to be. Fuel's coming in here. Cool. Our trucks, including this one, I have 2 trucks assigned to this now, are bringing in the nuclear fuel. Nuclear fuel sitting on here. We currently have 50 million waiting there, and I think we can add about 2, at least 4 times more than that on this ship, which is probably a good ratio or a good amount. We have a lot of containers sitting in all of these, so does actually tell me, because it looks like there's more than 8, if you ask me. 3.5 tons nuclear fuel. Yeah, it doesn't actually tell me how many containers it has sitting here, which is interesting. But there are several containers sitting here, several more than the 8 that has indicated right there. Same thing over here. Obviously, same thing. Not over here. They started picking up a couple there. That's telling me 2 trucks are probably going to be sufficient for what we want to do here. Light is flickering. Great. That's just telling me this is not going to work unless I give it more power. Okay. How do I get more power in here? I just have to splice it in from a location that would make sense. I don't think I have there's a power line here. That's good. Let's look at the overlay. While we're already in the area, we may as well fix a couple things, right? Good, cool. So if we look at our wattage, that all looks fine. This one looks okay. Where is it actually overloading? It's probably overloading out here, because yeah, that 11 plus whatever goes through here is probably not super healthy for it, especially at night. And yeah, this one is our import line, which is well overloaded. That's really our problem. This has to be replaced by a bigger line, and then life would be a little easier. Now let's see. I think we have a very cheeky way of fixing that. Yes, we should have a power line connection right here. We do. There's an import for a power line right here. Okay, before we get into that too much, let's look at our overlay again and see where most of our power is going. Most of our power is going out here, and just a little bit is going to the other places. So what I really would like is actually splice into this, and there's room. There's at least one place that I can see from here that has access to an extra line, and this one should give us enough security for the rest of the run to at least have the power available for a power-hungry republic, to get all the things not, well, to make nothing collapse here. It's a minor thing, really, if you think about it. It is just there so that my industry can keep making money, but then on the other hand, that's also a very big thing. Plus, this is going to be so cheap to build, and I have most of my units super close by this guy, at least, so the helicopters and the construction office one will have access to a lot of places to get that one up and running, and that's good. Bad news. The problem where we lost people was up here. It's like an anticlimactic location. Yes, all this is done. We will never touch it. It will just be a remnant of what once was. But the problem was there was a big traffic jam here because this construction office at some point burned down and everything was slowed down here, so nothing was actually moving, which meant nobody was being transported, everyone was being unhappy, and things were just not doing what they were supposed to do. So if we want this to run again, we just have to turn back on the burners in whatever that city's name is, which I always forget. But yeah, if we just put about 1,200 people in there, we should be able to revive this little place just for the time being. Maybe by the time we come back, it will be in a habitable state. I don't want to spend any more money on imports, not imports, but invites of people that we don't already have. So there we go. We're just going to fill this up with Utopia people, and they already know how to live well, so hopefully they can figure out how to make all of this their home and such. And yeah, all the other cities, sadly, were totally fine. There were no problems there, but we lost about 10,000 people in this area, apparently, which I find a little more ridiculous because I think this is closer to 2,000. But probably not. I probably made it 4,000 people, and then you have children and all the other things in there as well. So that is doing what it's supposed to do. Trash here. It's actually surprising that all the ash dissipated. I did not really expect that. There's just a tiny bit of waste sitting there, so all of this is technically working, but we don't have enough people for the steel mill because the part of that city that just died where people were supposed to go here. So there's that. Yeah, let's give ourselves a little bit of a fighting chance and set some of the vehicle industries up for actual vehicle replacements that we care about. So let's cancel the current queue. That's good. And just get a couple of the vehicles in that we know we need. We need definitely a big handful of these to get produced, otherwise they're going to break down. We will always need fuel trucks. We will always need these KMZs. We will need a couple of these, probably a couple of these. Fire trucks are always nice to have. And then we're getting into the, do we really need them? Some police vehicles, sure. Some garbage trucks, sure. The Icarus 280, I remember, is a big one. And then we may be already done with producing these. And I will just allow the time that they will stick here or sit here to be the time that they can be used as replacements. Otherwise, what's the point? And we're just going to do something very similar. And then, in all seriousness, I will let it run through the night. If my computer doesn't try to shut down for whatever reason. Thanks, Windows. I should have an answer tomorrow morning if this was successful or a complete failure. And yeah, that's really what it's all about in the end. At least get some closure. I do need enough money in the bank to make this work. And 18 million does not fill me with warm and fuzzy feelings, because that is by far not sufficient to get all the things done that we need here. Let's get 10 out of these. And yeah, we'll just have to see. There are some snowplows that we probably require, so let's put them in here as well. And I'm excited for the new season. Not just the early start. It will be early start, yes, 100%. But there are things that I know that we can do better than what we did this time around. And I just am excited to put those into action, hopefully, maybe. We'll just see how things go. But yeah, I must say thank you very much for sticking around with me for as long as you did. Again, if you're Patreon or YouTube members, I will post the saves out for your pleasure to figure out whatever you want to do with them. And I will give you updates once I know what the new season's going to look like and all those things. And of course, there will be early access once I'm allowed to post those videos. You will see it quickly, and they will come out in big batches, most likely. So let's see how all that plays out. But I think we are where we are. Missing UF6, cool. Missing uranium oxide, cool. Missing UF6 is actually something a little scary, but yeah, we still need a bigger number of engineers, otherwise this is not going to work. But these guys are trying to catch up. There's just more education needed, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, a lot of these buildings are still empty, which is fine. Not great, but it is what it is. At least we have enough food in the area to not starve, and we have more than enough sellers to be able to restock the shelves. So that's exciting. Cool. What else? Anything else that you need? I think we've done all the things that we wanted to do. I wouldn't be surprised if the power line is about to be done, 50% done. That's fine. How much money do you think we need in the bank to not go bankrupt right away? That's a trick question because I need to know what a load of steel currently goes by. And I don't know the answer to that without going to our steel import ship, which hopefully is still loaded right now. It does not, but it's about to go out, which means this will get very expensive. You're going to pen repair. That's not super helpful. I actually want you to go here if you don't mind, because if we can get one steel ship in, that may be enough to keep things rolling, especially with these container ships just parked here with 102 million in the bank. Cool. Let's say 200 million is what I want in the bank to be sure that we don't go bankrupt. So let's make that happen, and yeah, I'll let this run overnight and we'll see what happens. 200 million gets me back up to that 1 billion that I owed earlier anyways. But look at the amount due tomorrow because I'm due on the 5-year 2 million ruble loan. It should be okay. We should be relatively safe. We are getting stuff in. We never turned on the safety harbor fully. I think the only thing that we're getting out of it is some plastic, which we have used a bunch of, so that's cool. But yeah, there's so much more to do, but it's time to move on. Thank you so much for watching, for the whole season, for everything that you've done. If there's enough noise that people want me to continue Season X at some point after early start is established, let me know. Maybe I can be persuaded. There was a lot of fun to do everything that we've done here. There's a lot of stuff to fix, obviously. Let's just, yeah, see how things are moving along, and we go from there. We did just get extra power in. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. What's the overload looking like now? Just curious. No, there's 7 and 8 megawatts sitting there. We should be able to get everything that we need, power production wise, from out here. So yeah, that'll be okay. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. That's a lot of nuclear fuel sitting here. If you just send this out, you should have less problem with money. So yeah, let's just do this. Okay, this is where I save it, and I will see you when this is all over. Thanks for watching so much. Bye-bye.